Hi, this is Adam Greenman from Greenman Garden Tools, and today we're going to be talking about repairing broken tools. There's no hiding from the fact that from time to time they will break, but rather than throw them away, let's go and see how we can get them repaired. So let's go into my natural habitat, the shed. So the handle that you use for the repair is going to be dependent on the type of socket that you have. If it's a more classic square socket such as this one, you're going to need to get hold of a chucked tapered socket. The chucked is this little recessed section here. This allows the head and the handle to fit snugly together, so it's a nice smooth seam here. If you're working with a classic lipped socket such as this one, this is one of my grandfather's old tools that I've just broken, you're going to need a tapered handle such as this, which is more like a pencil forming a point at the end. This allows the taper and the lip to form a nice little join, and the wood goes further down into the handle. The other thing you're going to need is rivets. You can use screws, but personally I prefer a rivet, but the choice is yours. The number of rivets you're going to need is going to be dependent on the number of holes you've got in your socket. So for instance, this one is one, so that's just one rivet, whereas this lip socket has one at the top and one at the side, so I'm going to need two for that. So if you firstly look at working on the classic square socket, which is the more common one out there, and once you've managed to get rid of all the wood from the inside that's broken off, and sadly there's no magic cure-all for this, for me I just use a drill repeatedly, drilling out all the wood until it's all gone. And then a quick shake and hopefully that's it. But as I say, there's no magic cure-all for that. So once you have got the wood out, it's important to make sure that the handle and the fork head are aligned and flat. So for me, what I tend to use is the workbench itself. Push the handle in as far as it will go, and with the top of the handle flat on the workbench and the tines flat on the workbench, you should end up with everything aligned. At this stage you might need to get the hammer out and give it a little tap in, just to drive it home and ensure the seal is nice at the top here. Once that's done, you're going to need to drill through the hole if you're using a rivet. Failing that, if you're going to go down the screw route, it's as simple as just screwdrivering straight in. It's important when drilling this hole that you keep the drill as upright and as vertical as possible in order to keep a straight hole through, and you match up with the other side. You can also flip the tool over and come in from the other side if you prefer. Once you're through, dust off all the sawdust and drive your rivet home. Once the rivet's firmly in on one side, you can flip it over, and here you can either hacksaw the bit off, or if you prefer the more traditional approach, you can peen it in, and that just simply means doming off the top of the rivet with the hammer. If you choose to go down the peening route, you're going to need to find something fairly heavy, such as this, an anvil, and then with an engineering hammer, tap away at the rivet, and it will begin to mushroom out. And there we go, one ready for action digging fork, nicely repaired. As with the chucked handle on the straight socket, first thing first is to line it all up, again using the bench with the handle and the head flush. Quick tap to drive it home and then drill out the holes. This lip socket has got 2 holes, so one here and one here, so I'm going to have to drill it twice. I tend to drill the first one first and attach this with either the rivet or the screw just to stop it moving around for the second hole. You don't have to drive the rivet all the way through, but again it just holds it all in place. So there we go. Now the rivets are both through, we can carry on and peen them. So there we go. One safe and secure repaired lip socket handle.